revelation upon revelation awaits humanity. April 19, 2013. You are all acting in accordance with and receiving energies from Gaia's grid of light when performing your collective and individual blessings, and the light that you receive is being increasingly purified as you find yourselves better able to absorb purer encodements of it. This light energy will be instrumental in exposing to you and clearing out all of the old third-dimensional dross and drama that has kept you in shackles of illusory limitation for so very long, and the awareness being spread at present is garnering a widespread collective awakening to, and understanding of not just the injustice that has been wrought on your world for far too long, but of the metaphysical realms that lay beyond your conscious perspective as well as your abilities to interact with them. Startling truths and the filter of discernment. You are growing into your roles as energetic alchemists, and this will continue as you begin to realize your divinely sanctioned powers more and more. An open heart will very easily be able to receive the impouring impressions being given from the higher realms, and we ask each one of you to have an open perspective as we gradually begin to introduce truths through this and other channels that may startle you or initially spark disbelief. Indeed, things have been said through this scribe that did not go on to reach the public eyes and hearts, because much of the information we have to give is of such a startling nature and of a nature so outside of the paradigm of even the awakening light worker public, that we must be careful with the issuance of our communications. We must work through the filter, if you wish to call it that, of discernment that has been established within each one of our scribes, though this discernment is more than necessary to develop, as each one of you dear scribes have, at times, found energies around you that were not of the highest and purest Christ-id consciousness of us or of the other ascended souls speaking to and through humanity at this time. There will be so very much to tell you, and some of the most startling truths will indeed be brought about in the disclosure announcements rather than through specific scribes who may not believe what we are saying because of the too good to be true mindset and because of the sheer awesomeness and paradigm expanding nature of much of what we have for you. Staring down a corridor of experience. In the avenue of advanced technology, revelation upon revelation awaits humanity so that you can all understand what has been hidden from you and rightfully take back your world as you proclaim your sovereignty and freedom as a collective body. The unconsciousness of much of humanity has fed and driven the lower states of consciousness and the tyranny that has been wrought upon the earth, which is why the missions so many awakening light workers are finding out for themselves are more important than ever. At present, you are staring down an entirely new corridor of experience for yourselves to undergo, and while many of you remain comfortable in the old rooms and perceptions you have known for so very long, we ask you not to walk, but to run down this new corridor and to remember all of the features about it that you had previously forgotten. Look at the pictures on the wall. Look out the window. Even go outside if you wish. We use this metaphor to display the importance of not hanging on to your old and outdated belief systems or frames of thought and feeling, as we encourage you to explore the new metaphysical territory that is now fully yours for the exploring. You will remember so much of what you find, as you have all traversed the higher realms before making your ways to the earth, and you all carry the subconscious memories of these ventures within yourselves. Intense lower dimensional testing. Such memories have remained under the surface and locked away within your personal Akashic records as you embraced an experience of lower dimensionality, the extremes of which have been turned up. Indeed, the lower dimensional experience will test many of you to your very core, and things will happen to you along your experience and especially at this stage in your growth, which may leave you scratching your heads or wallowing in confusion for a short time. However, those with a fostered and opened connection to the higher realms will understand that you are never left alone and that you have plentiful spiritual guides around you along with us and so many others, who will help explain things to you and help you to understand everything that plays out before you. We have no malevolent purpose in speaking with you, and we are confident that the increasingly pure energies we are attaching to this communication will help you to see and feel that we have no agenda other than to inform, uplift and help you to reach the higher states of consciousness we have reached and are speaking to you from. Of course, We can only go so far in issuing our communications and offering our advice, and by this we mean that we cannot force any of you dear souls to take the advice we are giving, nor would we wish to. Acting in accordance with humanity's free will. Do not get us wrong, dear souls. We would very much love to see you enact the spiritual disciplines and reach the heightened perspectives that will help you to find a higher dimensional experience and convene with us in a much more personal manner than is so with our communications, but we like many others are acting within the perimeters of your collective and individual free will and cannot act past the measures we have been given. Some of us have acted beyond these measures in incarnating onto the earth and directly spreading the truths of our Father and Mother Creator to the souls on your dearest world, and many of you who are absorbing this communication are attracted to our energies specifically because you were attached to us and what we were doing in previous lifetimes. You are the same humanity who has experienced your earth throughout decades, generations and centuries. It is simply that a few of you have entered or left the earth experience. Some have ascended. Some have simply given up on their earthly ventures and incarnated into an easier third-dimensional planet. But the general collective body of humanity that is you has experienced your history throughout every time period your earth has been established as a planet. Of course, at times different races or races from other worlds were introduced into your collective, and the civilizations of what used to be Maldek as well as Mars exist on your dear planet with you and have been for so very long. Humanity's collective power and increased channeling abilities. You have been a united collective body for every bit of your earthly history, and even though you have remained separated and divided, this truth has never ceased to be. In fact, the strength of your collective power has fed the massive negativity and hatred toward one another, which has been propelled by your feeding of it on massive levels. Much will be discussed in relation to repairing and restoring your dearest world, and those of you who are just beginning to understand the concepts driving your higher dimensional experience will help so many others to understand many of the same concepts you're just beginning to be introduced to as you learn to embrace such concepts. Doing so will see you uninhibited in your experience of the higher dimensions that are descending down upon you at present, and as we make our final impressions for this communication, we remind you all that the impressions of your souls within the higher realms will only continue to increase and pick up as you find yourselves opened and expanded much, much more. We enjoy that you enjoy the abilities you have found in yourselves, and you will all be able to find these abilities strengthened in due time and will be able to bring through long, flowing and fruitful communications from the higher realms. Of course, you will not need to rely on your natural channeling abilities to communicate with us, and rather, will communicate with us constantly and in every moment as you find your abilities to channel having reached unprecedented proportions. Thank you to the Ascended Masters. Channeled through Wes Anak. WesAnak.com. AquariusParadigm.com